So let's move to agenda item 12. This is the general consent calendar. So at this time, board members, if there is something you'd like to have pulled, then let me know. I know member Vice Chair Wood teed me up a few minutes ago, so go ahead, Vice Chair Wood. Then I've got member Bogus and Longacre.
I'd like to remove the instructional materials from the consent calendar.
Can you give us more? Is that 13, or sorry, 12.4? Is that right?
Yes, 12.4.
12.4. Okay. Member Bogus?
Oh, I apologize. I need to find my numbers here. So it'd be 12.2.6. And then collectively, I'd like to pull 12.2.3, 4, and 5 as a unit, unless somebody else wants to split those up.
So overall, you are looking to pull 12.3, 4, 5, and 6. Is
Yes,
that correct?
but I'd like to pull them in two chunks, 3, 4, and 12.2 point. No,
3,
12
4,
point.
3, 4, and 5.
3,
and
4, and
then
5
6 is
as
standalone.
one, and then 6 as a standalone.
Okay.
Please.
Yep. And member Longacre.
Can I just pull this second contract number 2?
That is 12.2, the driver education materials.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Seeing no other lights, I'd seek any other motions. Vice Chair Bollinger. Member Bogus.
I would move that we approve 12.2.345, but I have a series of questions.
Okay, so the motion is to approve agenda item 12.2.3, 4, and 5. Do we have a second? We have a second. Go ahead and speak to that motion, Member Bogus, and feel free to additionally ask your questions.
Well, can I ask a question before I speak to the motion?
You can waive speaking to the motion and go straight into questions.
I'll just
Sure.
close. I would love to close. I just would love to know, it talks about the data. I'm just curious, is this the over-the-shoulder data? Is this a data transfer? What exactly is this? Respectfully, I didn't mean that to come out quite the way it sounded.
Well, I'm not sure who you're asking.
Well, the contact is Jessica Lamb.
And so you're asking Jessica Lamb or a staff member what
Or-
the
Or perhaps a member of Katie Chalice's team. I don't know. I know that these appear to be the same thing through different vendors. And so I just am wondering, like, what kind of data are we releasing? The last time we saw something like this, it was some sort of over-the-shoulder something or other. And I forget the language that was used, but basically people come in and observe. This appears to be different. I just want to make certain I understand what I'm looking at.
Yeah, Katie appeared out of nowhere. So thank you for joining us.
I was
summoned
just
her with my
hovering
chicken.
outside the door. The items in question are all of these about the IDEA.
Katie, I'm
dispute.
sorry, will you just,
Oh yeah, sorry. Katie Chalice, Director of Privacy. Are these all the IDEA dispute resolution contracts? Okay, yeah, I'm happy to speak to this. So, we use the term over the shoulder in one of our policies in board policy 3006. And so I think this could sort of be anecdotally called over the shoulder, but that's not the way we use it in the policy. So I'm going to kind of clarify what's actually going on here. So it's not an over the shoulder in the sense that someone comes into the office and looks at the data in front of them. Instead, these dispute resolution officers, they do actually receive data for specific to the cases that they are working on. So for example, if a parent has a complaint against their school district that their child was not receiving appropriate services under IDEA. Then they might file a formal complaint. That information comes along with, it includes the information about the complaint, it includes documentation about the complaint. That comes to USBE staff, and then staff delegate that out to the assigned contractor. So any one of these individuals in these contracts might work through, a handful of these cases each year. And they are going to have access to quite a bit of data specific to the case that they're investigating. So it's not a situation of like a data dump of a lot of information about kids, but they're working with files, their IEP records, maybe emails, documenting the dispute resolution, sometimes interviews. And then, of course, at the end of the dispute resolution, they send documentation to the appropriate parties and then are required to destroy that data from their own records. I hope that helps, Board Member Bacchus.
That's all I needed to really understand. Thank you.
Okay. So the motion before the board is that the board approve 12.2.3, 12.2.4, and 12.2.5. Not 12.2.6. Let's remove that. Just those three. Is that right, Member Bogus?
Yeah, just the three.
Just the three. Yep. So let me restate again, then we'll get ready for a vote. So the motion is that the board approve from the consent calendar agenda items 12.2.3, 12.2.4, and 12.2.5. Let's go ahead and vote. Member Carey?
Yes.
Thank you. That passes unanimously. And I seek any other motions. There's things removed. There's things still on the table. Member Bogus. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Member Bogus.
Thank you. I move that we approve the minutes.
And which, let me see. Is that 12.1? So the motion is to approve the minutes. Do we have a second? Second. Seeing no questions or no lights, let's go ahead and vote on that. Member Carey?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. That passes unanimously. Vice Chair Wood?
I move that we remove the item block of 3223 from the instructional materials.
So this is agenda item 12.4. Is that right? We've got a point of order. Go ahead, Member Bogus.
Instructional materials and then amend to remove.
Oh, yeah, if you're making an amendment, yes, please.
I believe
Yeah,
so.
thank you. Okay, so I would move to approve the 2025 fall instructional materials report.
Okay, do we have a second? Okay, so there's a motion to approve the, let me see, fall instructional materials review. Okay,
And now I have an amendment.
yeah, go ahead.
I would like to remove the block of 3223.
So there's an amendment to this motion, and that is to remove the block of 3223. It's been seconded. Back to you, Vice Chair Wood.
Thank you. So as I was moving through this, we reached this Spanish curriculum by Wayside, and I found it quite interesting that the first year was, second year was reviewed but not recommended. Third year was reviewed, not recommended. Fifth year was reviewed and not recommended. And first year was only teacher recommended. And I thought it's interesting that you have an entire block of materials that have some interesting, and if you read that material, it's political viewpoints, stereotypes, inaccurate culturally insensitive portrayals, inappropriate elements for classroom instruction. And yet there's this one that's just standing out there. And so I asked what it would take to review it a second time, just to compare it with the others. And that was going to be additional people and additional cost. And then I spoke with an LEA board member, and they talked about, well, we would never adopt a single entity when all of the rest of the materials were not approved. And so I just, having talked to staff, I would like to just remove this one. And then we have that whole block that's not being used.
Okay, so the motion is that the board remove the 3223 block from, let me just restate, from the fall instructional materials review. Seeing no lights, let's go ahead and vote. Member Carey?
Yes.
Okay, that passes unanimously. And still on the floor, we have 12.2.2 removed and 12.2. Oh, we have to, yeah, you're right. We've got to vote on the, thank you. So the underlying motion then is that the board approve the fall instructional materials review as amended. Seeing no lights, let's go ahead and vote. Member Carey?
Yes.
And one more. Okay, that passes 14 in favor, 1 opposed. That opposition coming from Member Bogus. Okay. Now we have the remaining agenda items. We've got 12.2.1, which is just floating. We've got 12.2.2, which was removed, and 12.2.6, which was removed. Member Longacre.
Can I speak to the second one? And the only reason why I pulled this is because anytime a staff member negotiates on a contract and saves us money, the taxpayers' money, I think that they should be commended. And I just want to give a shout out to Audrey Uri. This contract was $100,000 a year, and she negotiated it down to $50,000 a year. So over 5 years, she has saved the taxpayers $250,000. And her words herself was, I know that this is not my money, it's the taxpayers' money, so I'm very careful. That's the only reason why I pulled it. So I apologize if that was not appropriate, but Audrey deserves a bonus.
Yeah. A $250,000 bonus.
Yes, I know. She won't take it because it's taxpayers' money.
Okay.
But so I'll make a motion to
Approve?
approve it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's great. So there's a motion to approve agenda item 12.2.2. Is there a second? Okay, it's been seconded. Would you like to speak to it? I know you, okay. Okay, good job. That's, we'll take it. All right, let's go ahead and vote. Member Carey?
Yes.
Thank you. That passes unanimously. Okay. Any other suggestions? We have 12.2.1, which again is floating, and 12.2.6, which is removed. Vice Chair Bollinger.
Yeah, I'd be happy to make a motion to approve 12.2.6 and 12.2.1.
There's a motion to approve agenda items 12.2.1 and 12.2.6 in numerical order. Would you like to speak to that, Vice Chair Bollinger? Oh, we need a second first. Is there a second? There is a second. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. I know that there's been a lot of work done on the early warning system that we're required in code to provide. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to staff for their extra work on going back and looking at that again, and just know that it's something that helps our schools identify students that need early intervention. So appreciate that work.
Thank you. Member Earl?
Thank you, and I do appreciate the work the staff's done. I just want to draw attention to a handful of things, and if I've misrepresented anything, please staff correct me. If I'm understanding this current contract that's before us, that that the money we have, meaning that the state board disperses, which it's a 50-50, right? That none of that will be going towards surveys. That if a district chooses to do panorama surveys, that would come through their own funding, their own choice by their own LEA. Can I just get a confirmation on that? Someone just say yes.
Yeah, and this is not a new conversation. Right?
It's
We
not
had
a new
this few months
conversation, but
ago.
it's important that it's publicly acknowledged what this is and what the changes were.
Well, and I believe we waited on that, on
That's right.
voting the contract last time. So that, I'm just trying to refresh the
Oh,
memory.
thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Aaron?
Aaron Bruff, the Director of Data and Statistics. So as you look at I don't know if you read through it. When you look at the pricing on it, again, we're 50-50 split. The cost amount went from, it was $4,000, and I don't know if you remember last time it was $4,000. It went to $3,500. We would be doing the 50-50 on that amount. And like Board Member Earl stated, that if the LEAs are selecting to do the additional component, that they would be responsible for paying for that amount. That is correct.
Okay, thank you. The surveys, if they choose to do surveys, it is only an opt-in now. A parent would opt in. If they choose it, they would have to adhere to 53E 9209, which is our survey where they have to let parents know and all that provisions. Is that accurate? Is that what's in our?
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
thank you.
It is accurate. It's, and I'm going to just clarify, it's two-part opt-in. Part one, the LEA opts in, say we're going to do this, and two, they have to get parental consent upfront before they can administer any surveys.
Thank you. Two other provisions. Yeah, the district would have to, okay. I just want to make sure the data privacy elements of this is one of the things that's been a concern with Panorama, is who has access to students' data. In the state of Utah, though, if I'm understanding that, the provisions we put in here to strengthen this, that the vendor shall develop and document any information security program. The vendor shall inform an LEA or the USBE of the precautions taken according to the maintenance and protection of student data identifiable information. That they have to adhere to our law. Their contractors, their subcontractors have to adhere to the data privacy that we have in our state as well as national standards. They can't just allow that information to be accessed by others. Is that accurate?
Yes. Tanya Albornoz, Coordinator for Prevention. Yes, that's accurate. Board Member Earl.
Okay, and that our data privacy team will be helping with the training around the contents for the data privacy training. It will go through there. This is what I have at page 23. It says the content of the data privacy training will be approved by the USBE data privacy team. That's the wording from the contract. I just want to make sure I'm understanding what the intent is there.
Hi, Katie Chalice, Director of Privacy. I actually completely forgot about that part, but I'm excited to remember that it is in there. And yeah, we are intending to do that now that you remind me.
Okay, I'm just confirming that for staff and for the public.
Yes, thank
So,
you.
okay.
Thank you so much.
I do have a couple, sorry, I'm going to have just a few questions here because this is a hot item. AI-powered analysis. Can we speak to who's overseeing the AI portions of this? Because Panorama, like a lot of other organizations, are moving into the AI methodology for providing interventions and other real life, you know what I mean, things for students. I want to know how that we are engaging with the AI component in the state of Utah when it comes to Panorama.
Do you want to answer that?
Do you want to answer it, or do you want me to answer it? You've got the AI guy. I'm happy to. Aaron Bruff, Director of Data and Statistics. This is fun. So, We are not purchasing an AI component with Panorama. There is an option set that the LEAs, if they so desire, could purchase themselves in addition or an add-on. So the components would be, if the LEA decides to utilize that additional AI component, they would be complying with one, the LEA's policies and procedures of utilizing the AI. In addition, obviously, they have to be in compliance with what we have here in our framework of AI utilization.
Which, let me just clarify, that would probably include also if Utah has some AI strengthening bills or legislation, they would have to comply with that as well. Would that
Yes.
be accurate?
Yes.
Okay, one last one, thanks. This has to do with other, so I'm wondering, can we make, I'm just asking if we can make a revision. On here, it says that they can't, because I know we haven't signed this yet, so they'd have to agree to it within a period of time. But anyways, on page 19, it talks about academic performance. This is what the dashboard will display or what they're collecting. Discipline, school safety violations, attendance, behavior, course failures, and it says, and other criteria as determined by the LEA. I'm wondering if we could put in there other criteria leading to higher academic outcomes. So it's criteria leading to higher academic outcomes as determined by the LEA. Should I just make a motion? Can we put something, request something in the contract like that?
I'm going to refer to staff. Is there somebody that can help us answer that question? Michael?
I will repeat it. Mhm. I just want to see if we need to do that.
Yeah, it's Mike Iwasaki, Director of Purchasing and Contracts. We can go back there and request that from the vendor.
Okay, so I need to make a motion then, right? So I would make a motion that we just add in there where it says other, anywhere it says other criteria, we add leading to higher academic outcomes. So I'll read it again. Who's driving? Someone typing in? Is that you, Elise? So wherever it says other criteria, and then you would add in leading to higher academic outcomes, that's the new language. And then after that, it's as determined by the LEA. That we're just clarifying that it's leading to higher academic outcomes. They're not just adding, I don't know, whatever in there. So.
Okay, let's just make sure that that motion reads as you're intending.
No, academic performance, no.
Okay, the motion is that the board amend the contract by adding wherever it says other criteria leading to higher academic outcomes as determined by the LEA. Does that read correctly, Member Earl?
Yes.
Okay, is there a second to that motion? Okay, we have a second. Is there discussion to that motion? Okay, so let's cue that up. The motion is that the board amend the contract by adding wherever it says other criteria leading to higher academic outcomes as determined by the LEA.
So then what would this be? What would be the criteria?
We'll get that queued up for a vote.
So then it shouldn't be. Any criteria.
Member Carey?
He's off.
Yes,
He's
yeah.
online. Oh. Okay, and that motion passes 14 in favor, 1 abstention coming from Chair Hymas. Which is probably the correct choice since you didn't know what we were talking about. Okay, we'll go back to the underlying motion. Member Blair, Member Earl, did you have another?
No, I just want to, I'm grateful we held off on this. I'm grateful we put it back out. It sounds like there was only one provider that actually met the criteria. Again, is that accurate? Okay, so the criteria set forth in law, there was only one that met that criteria.
Oh, Member Carey, can we have you mute? Thank you.
And so I just wanted people to recognize that. And by law, we have to have something in place. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
And They probably wanted it in August of this year, the legislature. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the underlying motion is that the board approve 12.2.6 and 12. Oh, Member Bogus, were you speaking to this motion? Sure.
And everybody's left, so I don't know where they're at. Director Bruff talked about parental consent. I want to know whether that's implied or informed. Please, I would like to know whether that consent is implied or informed.
Can you define that for me, please? Go ahead.
Oh, I apologize. I just directed it toward him since he had spoken about it.
Yeah, that's fine, thanks. Katie Chalice, Director of Privacy. I would characterize it as informed. So the consent has to be obtained at the time a student registers for school, and the parents are given information, including the purpose for it, actual copy of the questions that will be asked, information about who will have access to the information once the student completes the survey. So in my mind, it's informed consent.
May I follow up? Yeah. So are those copies translated into the language of the primary language of the family?
I don't know for sure. I think that from what I remember in the past, I think Panorama has supported LEAs in providing a copy in Spanish. I can't say for sure, but I imagine that
So, well, just for example, one of the buildings I'm assigned to, 67 languages is taught, or 67 languages are spoken within the scope of their student body. So if it's only provided in Spanish, I would argue that it's not informed consent for everybody who speaks the 66 other languages. In particular, if parents are not fluent in English. So I'm concerned that even though they have the opportunity, it's really not informing, especially our immigrant families whose parents don't speak English.
yeah, that's a great point, Member Bogus. And we did just get confirmation that they can provide it in any language needed.
Oh, well, good. Okay, I have one more question. And that is any PII or student data put into AI?
Yes, in a walled garden implementation, which means that the AI functionality, the data is not being used to train the model. It's not leaving the, as we say, walled garden. But yes, PII can be, the AI generative AI model can sort of like digest and make interpretations about the data, but that is never sent outside the system, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Unlike other types of AI, like your traditional chat GPT, it's like back and forth and all the data is going to and fro. But in this case, it's contained in what they call a walled garden implementation.
Okay, and I have one final question, with your permission. Who ensures that that walled garden is intact? Do we verify that, or do we just trust Panorama in saying it doesn't go anywhere?
Mostly the latter. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, Chair. Thanks.
Thank you, Member. Okay, let's get teed up for a vote then. The motion before the board is that the board approve 12.2.6 as amended and 12.2.1 from the consent calendar. Let's go ahead and vote. Member Carey?
Yes.
Okay, that passes 12 in favor, 1 abstention, and 2 no votes. The abstention coming from Member Earl, the no coming from Member Green and Member Bogus. Okay, that completes agenda item 12. Our consent calendar. Let's see here. Let's keep going if we can. We need 5 minutes. Let's take 5 minutes, board members. We'll set a timer. Thank you.